Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome to a creepy, spooky Halloween video on my channel. I am here with Alex, and I'm here with Joanna. So today we're going to be doing the 2 Lies and 1 Truth Halloween edition!
First one is actually pretty scary. Okay, so when me and my friend, we were around, I don't know, 12, 11 years old, we went to the veterinary shop and we actually poisoned one bunny.
What?
The second truth or lie is that we actually went to the same veterinary shop and we bought one hamster. And when we came back home, the friend went with the hamster to the toilet and he flushed him down.
What?
The third one is that we bought together the fish and we were trying to be very funny with it and we were trying to be very cool, very scary kids, so we buried the fish alive.
What? Can we talk about the fact that one of those is a truth?
So I think the truth is the third.
That you buried a fish?
Yeah, a lot.
I don't think you buried a fish. I also don't think you flushed down an animal. Who flushes an animal in the toilet?
My ex-boyfriend.
What was the last one?
What?
I'm gonna take that. Like, accidentally poisoned the bunny.
0 points!
Really?
Yeah.
You flushed?
No, I didn't. My friend did.
Flush the hamster?
Yeah, alive. After that, I had
The hamster haunted the house and killed your
No,
friend.
but I actually felt so bad for every hamster that I had like 3 hamsters after all.
Once I walked in the woods with my friend and then all of a sudden it turned dark. It was in the evening, but all of a sudden it turned like pitch black. And I actually ended up walking on the remains of a town that is now like dead. The people are dead that lived there and the houses are gone. There are only remains of like the walls left. So we walked on,
The bunker.
yeah, basically. And we actually started crying, me and my friend, from being so scared. The other one is, I once gone for a walk with my friend in the evening and it turned pitch black all of a sudden. And then we accidentally stepped into the graveyard that is right over here. And so I tripped over my own feet or on a stone or whatever, and I actually landed like face down on one of the new graves with the new flowers and everything on it. So I was literally, if you can imagine, just me here, a body here, earth in between us, freak out moment. The last one is, I've always been obsessed with these scary things, so we decided to go into the only house in my home city that looks haunted. But we actually didn't know. So we walked into the hallway, and then as soon as we just looked to the side into what seems to be the kitchen, there was a person there. They didn't see us, but we were like, okay.
I'm not sure if I heard this story already, but I think it's the first one.
I think it's the third one that is true.
Okay.
And it's something I would do totally.
I
Like go
would do that
to
too.
an abandoned house.
If we had an abandoned house in our town, but we don't.
Okay.
So 0 and 1. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I've heard it. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I've told you this before.
So the first story is that I was with my half-sister, in an aqua park in Poland with my parents, and she tried to drain me, and I actually
Like drown you?
drowned. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I passed out because I was scared, and just got too much water, but like I was alright afterwards.
Also, you didn't die? Surprise!
The second story is in Denmark, when I just got here, and I lived in Høje and I was going in the train, and there was this like crazy Chinese lady. I might have told you that story.
No.
I haven't. Okay. There was this crazy Chinese
Okay,
lady.
we already know which one is true.
You don't know that.
I might have told you this lie before.
She actually was like very tiny, but she was really strong, and she was pushing everyone around. So I started to move back to the end of the train, and then she like attacked this one girl, and the girls were following me all the time to the back of the train, and she ended up like really beating hard this girl. This girl like couldn't walk anything, and there was a ticket lady at the back of the train, and she has finally like managed to stop that Asian woman, and that Asian woman also like pushed her and just like ran away, and that girl was like really bleeding badly. Third story is when I was like around 7 years old, and I was selling mussels from the sea. And did I tell you that story?
No.
Good. I was selling the mussels, and there was this like a little bit drunk guy who came and like pushed all the mussels from the table. He was like upset that he didn't have space for his beer to put on the table, and he like grabbed me and beat me like really hard, and I pee.
Thank you.
I pee on his hand because that's like I peed myself because that's how scared I was. And then my mom was trying to like hand him down.
I'm sorry, just imagine this poor guy with a handful of pee.
Yeah, my mom tried to hand him. It never like happened. But then I saw him a few years later in a bath.
I actually think the first one is true.
You think so?
You think my sister tried to kill me?
Yeah.
Then you laugh. I think I'm gonna go for number 2.
It's 0 points for both of you. It's the third story.
Oh my god.
You peed in someone's hand.
That's fucked up.
I was
scary.
really,
Yeah.
I was really scared, so I just peed myself. And I saw him in the bath a few years later. Yeah.
And then you peed in his hand again.
No.
So the first story is that when I was around 6 years old, my parents wanted me to be very responsible. They actually were going out for a party, and they left me home alone. But you know, it was already like the evening, so they hoped I'm gonna sleep all the time. I was watching some dances on the ice skaters, having really good time. But then I started to get really bored, so I started crying very loud.
Oh my god.
Like so loud that the neighbors, like after 1 hour of me crying, called my parents that they need to go home because your daughter just cries like, you know, so much. The second story is that my parents sent me on the horse camp, and I was staying there for like 2 weeks. But then after 1 week, my parents came to visit me, you know. And so I took this horse, you know, this big one, this one that I named Clara, and I take him
I don't know why
out.
that's funny. That's not funny.
I take him out and I start riding, and my parents are there, so I'm just waving to them, you know, very excited to be on the horse. And then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna show them that, you know, I'm freaking good in this. So I kind of kicked the horse very hard, and the horse started running, and I was so scared that I actually fell down from the horse, and that's how I broke my leg. And the third story, this is how I broke my hand actually. I went together with my friends from school to this cemetery, and we were there for, I don't know, maybe
That also freaks me out.
maybe 10 minutes, you know, and then we saw the squirrel. And in Poland, you know, it's not normal to see the squirrel going around in the parks, especially in my city. So we were just trying to catch her, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go on this tree, you know. And I went on this tree, and I saw the squirrel, and I think she was getting ready for the attack. So I looked at her, and I actually fell down on my left hand. And that's how I got it broke.
The thing that you're really good at is that when you tell the story, you start laughing and like, and that was so funny. And I'm like, but some of them are not true. How can you think it's so funny? The first one would be very realistic, but I also think that that's why it's alive. I'm going for number 2.
No, I'll take the 3 because I also thought maybe 2, but let's say 3.
3? You say 3, I
Yeah.
say 3.
No, I say 2. 2, yeah.
The first one was real! No!
This is a story about something that I found in the backyard of my house when I lived with my parents. We were gonna redo the garden, so either we found, like on the back of one of the trees, a name, like that was carved into the tree, or did we find out that all the tiles in the garden, actually when we dug them up, that they were all gravestones, like legit gravestones with names on them and years on them and everything. Or did we actually find a cut off finger?
I'm actually thinking more about the graves, you know? So you can take the finger, I can take the grave.
But like, why would somebody leave a fucking finger in a garden? Like,
And why would there be like graves under the ground, you know?
I love this gets you talking. I'm like, the finger
Tree.
one? Or no?
Finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I also think it's the finger.
No, say something else so she's not the biggest liar.
I think it's the finger.
Okay.
I like
Okay, no, I'm saying the grave.
Okay.
They
Final
said the
answers?
Finger.
Grave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, because it is actually the gravestones. It's probably not because there was a graveyard there, but it's probably because the previous owners like got the gravestones and made their garden from it. But still, fuck, that's creepy.
Oh.
It's really creepy.
Last story.
Yeah. So first story is me and my friend. We were forging IDs and we got caught up in a train. But I had my own ID as well with me. We were forging them to go to the clubs. And then she forgot to take her ID with her to the train, so she showed the forgered ID. And ticket guy, somehow he knew that we still don't know how, like he knew that it was a forgery. And it was legit made in the school, so you couldn't see it was a forgery. He must have known the girl. He stopped us in the train and she actually went to the court with it and everything. The second story is that I went to a party. I was underage as well. And I went to the party and came back in the train and I fell asleep in the train, woke up in a different city and I went out of the station and somebody attacked me with like, I was eating McDonald's, so it was actually my own McDonald's bag and the guy like took away the McDonald's bag and started like beating me with the McDonald's bag. The thing is like everyone stood around and like nobody helped me and then people came up to me and they were like, did you know that guy? I'm like, no, I did not. So the third story is I worked in a fish spa and I was doing like putting my feet down so the fish were eating off my skin and the fish actually bitten off like a big part of the skin and I was just really bleeding badly for like an hour.
OMG.
Ooh.
For me, the first and the third is very suitable for Joe, right?
I'm thinking 1 or 2. I actually think number 1.
I'm just gonna say number 3 then.
Okay. Okay.
And
Yeah.
you said number 1?
Number 1, yeah.
It's the truth.
You kind of had it too. But I feel like this is my first point.
Yeah. I got attacked with a McDonald's bag. Just I didn't fall asleep.
I actually once got thrown out of a McDonald's because I fell asleep with my face down in one of the Sunday ice creams. So I had my face like in ice cream and then one of the people working there like, excuse me, you can't sleep here. And I'm like, what? I had like McDonald's ice cream down my face.
You were drunk, right?
No, that's me every day. Alright, that is it, you guys. Let's do a little dance, ending video dance. If you want to see more spooky stories, go and check the video we made on Alex's channel where we're also going to be sharing some spooky stories and we're going to be carving pumpkins as well. And go check Joanna's channel. I actually haven't watched any of her videos, but I like her, so I'm gonna go check them out myself so we can do it together.
Leave the thumbs up.
And leave a fucking comment with your fucking scary story.
Okay,
Bye!
yeah, bye!